Hey guys, just a little bit late, but here's my review of the Temple of the Endless Sea. As usual, I will talk about the build of the set first, then the minifigures, and a rating out of 10. Let's get started. So here is the Temple of the Endless Sea, quite a large and open set. And what I like about this is there's a lot of stuff for decoration purposes that you could put in this open area. But yeah, let's start off with this submarine. These seabed sets include these mini subs, and they're quite nice, I think. I like this piece at the back, kind of functioning as a propeller, I guess. And these subs are great for the underwater atmosphere of these sets. Really does fit the setting. And these decals are nice too, with the ninja symbols as well as this glass piece. I also like how each of the weapons at the front, they're different on each sub, depending upon the ninja who uses the sub. So yeah, these are nice too. You also got this creature, kind of like a stingray, which is nice too. I like the printing. And it is pretty show accurate from what I remember of marine life in Seabound. I like these studs too. You could prop a minifigure up on it and have them ride it. So yeah, let's get started with this, with the temple, I guess. But before we start, notice these connector pieces that connect each part of the set to another part. What I really like is if you don't like the way the set looks right now, you can customize it. There's a lot of customization to be done. If I don't want Wojira to be on the right, I can move Wojira all the way here. And I think that's very nice for freedom, I guess. So yeah, starting all the way with this leftmost part. This is a pretty small part, but it's nice. Some basic stuff for this set is you're going to see this piece a lot, which is really cool. I think it adds to the elemental feel of this set. And also you see these weapons on the roof a lot. I mean, here, and of course here as well. This piece is quite cool. It's this flat piece that kind of goes up here with a stud, and I've never seen this piece before. It's really nice. As for this actual part of the set, this is normally a railing piece. You can see it right there, but they turn it to its side, and it is kind of nice as a window, actually. So I think that's cool. If we flip around, just some basic props, glasses, another one of these weapons, I guess a painting or something. But yeah, this is a cool part of the set. But another part I really like is Wojira. So this is one of the bigger parts of the set, and Wojira is quite nice looking. What I like about Wojira is this is obviously not a dragon, but it's not a snake either. And I think it is this perfect kind of in-between creature for Ninjago. I like this pose. I think it would be nice if you could move it in other poses. You can really just move this part here and up there below. This is all fixed in the same position. You can move the tail a bit too, like this. It would obviously be nice if you could move it, but that's not a big deal. I think this is a pretty good position. And I like Wojira. I like how they make use of the Overlord's head and jaw, the Overlord Dragon's head and jaw. It looks really good here with the golden teeth and the golden horn and whatever these details are. I like these details. Even this here, we see something like this in the show, for Show Wojira, and that is quite cool. There's a gimmick here too. You can see these chains that chain up Wojira, and there's, I don't know if you could see it well, but there's kind of like this circular piece, and the idea is that if you move it, you can knock the chains off of Wojira. Like that. So I think that is quite cool. As for this prison part, I like this. I like the tridents. I think that is kind of nice. Let's get this out of the way. But yeah, Wojira is great. If I had a complaint about this, obviously this is inaccurate. Wojira does not wear the amulet above her belly, so I guess that's one of my only real complaints about this. If they could have found a way to work it into the head region, that would be so much better. But that's okay, I guess. I like these pieces. They really replicate scales for Wojira's belly, and the colors are really nice here too. How you got this tan area on Wojira's belly, but at the back it's all just this really nice color of blue, turquoise almost, with black and gold touches here too, which I think is great. And this tail is nice too. I like it. It really makes Wojira feel, again, less like entirely a snake, but more like some sort of marine creature. So yeah, Wojira is really nice. I think that is a great element for this set. But now we have the big part, the main temple, and it is quite nice looking, especially with stuff such as these gold pillars. The bases of these pillars are really cool too. I also like these dual sets of steps, and it kind of goes into this area here with these gold pieces, which aren't really placed in a pattern. They're just kind of random almost. It's not entirely symmetric, which I think is cool. And this is a play feature. If we spin around to the back, we can see that if you push this forward, these spears will come out, which is a very small touch, but I think it's cool. These pieces are actually kind of windshield pieces used on cars, and it's very interesting how they're used to this temple's entrance. They work so well. This temple's entrance isn't really rectangular or a square, but it's actually circular if you see, which I think is super cool and makes the entrance to this temple feel kind of bigger almost. If we move up here to the top, love the use of weapons as decoration in this set between these tridents and these smaller pieces here, which for some reason I still don't know the name of. I like this kind of as a barrier between the first floor and the second floor, and again, this railing piece that I pointed out earlier. If you move up here, these pieces are nice too, kind of like semicircles, and these blue pieces are really nice accents to the black pieces behind them. At the center is going to be this blue circle with a sensei hat on top, which is great, kind of like the centerpiece of it. And up here, I don't know if you can see the full thing, but they have this decal here and two Merlopian swords with the weapon, the aforementioned weapon in the center. Yeah, there is also stuff at the back, which we're going to take a look at, of course. And here's the Storm Amulet. If you take a look, this Storm Amulet is reflecting the light, and I've heard that this is actually different from the amulet that they included in the island set. So I guess kind of to signify the difference between the fake amulet and the real amulet. I don't know. It's kind of cool. This altar or stand is nice too. If you look here, there's a bust or statue of some unidentified figure. It's a bit strange that they include some sort of prop on this side, but if you spin around to the other side, it's just kind of empty here. I don't know. Not a big deal. Might be a bit nitpicky. If you go up to the top, there's more random stuff, some sort of scroll here. I like how they include these two cylinders, kind of to, I guess, signify the wooden poles or, I guess, sticks that would normally be at the end of a scroll. And then if you look on the other side, there's a table with a clear piece and a jewel and whatever this is supposed to be. You got these pink sea lanterns, which, again, they're right here. These are really cool, too. And at the top is some sort of fish nailed to a wooden board. But yeah, that is the main temple, and it is quite nice looking. I really like this. Let's get this out of the way. And now we really only have some of the smaller parts of this set left to look at. This is the smallest part here with some sort of an oyster or a clam. There's a pearl in the center, which is cool, too. And this red piece kind of signifies the oyster's tongue. So that is quite cool. I don't have much else to say about that. But yeah, this is it. This is the last part, and this functions as a prison and a watchtower, basically. So up here is a spring-loaded shooter. We can fire this up. We can load it in and fire it up. It is pretty cool, I think, how they put this weapon at the top. I think that's kind of a nice touch. But yeah, that actually reflected or rebounded off of the sub I had placed to the side. But yeah, this is pretty cool. I like, again, you see these weapons here. And the pillars, I love the use of pillars. And this color is just really nice for this set. You know, this kind of emerald, turquoise-ish, blue-green color, really great. You also have these water pieces, which I pointed out earlier at the start. And this trident here, if you spin around to the back. Oh wait, also, before we do that, again, this windshield piece, which is really nice here, kind of like as an arc of a circle. But yeah, as I was saying, this is kind of a prison. You got this prison window, a door, again, these lanterns, and there's a gimmick here, actually. You can open the door up, but you could also just completely destroy the door if you turn this to the side. The entire thing falls out, which is kind of a nice gimmick. And then at the top, there's this. If you open it up, you will see a pistol and sword in the center. This doesn't really add too much to the set, but I guess it's kind of cool. I don't really have much to say about that. But yeah, that is the Temple of the Endless Sea. It is quite a cool set. And now we have the minifigures. Energy Nia, as you see here, is quite complex. There is so much going on here. Starting off with this water tail piece, I believe used from Hidden Side. This is great. It is a perfect use of the piece here. I think in Hidden Side it was used on a ghost, but here it's obviously used as water. And it just works perfectly here. I think it's great. I really like that they used this piece. But I do have to say this minifigure is very complex. And I think there's a bit too much going on between the tail, the water arms, her actual arms with these water pieces, the half mask. There's a bit too much. The water arms are cool. They use this piece that we pointed out earlier. There's 4 of them here. I think I might have gone without that. I think it makes this minifigure just a bit distracting, but it's not a huge problem. As for her torso, it's very simple, but it almost looks like a painting. And I think that's really cool. Kind of like a night sky or something. I love these different colors. A whitish blue, obviously darker blue, the rest of the minifigure. And then kind of more like this true blue off to the right here. I also like how one of her arms is transparent, the other is not. That is kind of a nice asymmetric detail. And up here she's got this transparent hairpiece, the very same hairpiece used for her gold Legacy minifigure and the half mask as well. This minifigure's face has been compared a lot to Pixel, which I definitely see the comparisons, but I think this head is kind of nice. It's cool. It's cool. It doesn't quite look like Nia, I gotta say, but I don't necessarily think that's a problem. Just more something I'm pointing out, I guess. But yeah, Energy Nia is a cool minifigure. And next we're going to take a look at the bad guy for this season, Prince Kalmar. This is Prince Kalmar's minifigure. Let's zoom in a little bit more here. Yep, that is good. Prince Kalmar's minifigure is great. We get another purple animal type villain coming after Pythor. But this minifigure is really cool. I like the tailpiece. The tailpiece is quite nice. If we go around to the back, you see a lot of different tentacles here. And I think it's really cool. I don't know if this is a brand new piece or not, but either way it's nice. This shade of purple is great too. And I like how they use gold as well. I love this armor piece. I totally think it should have been used in the show. It just makes him feel a bit more like a warrior almost. Without the armor piece, I think it kind of feels like something's missing. It would have been nice if they'd somehow found a way to work in his crown from the show, because his crown looks great. But I do like his head. This is obviously probably a brand new head mold for this minifigure. I like these blue highlights towards the top. And he kind of has like a mustache. His eyes here too look nice. This minifigure almost looks creepy too if you look at him. He's got this big trident. I think it might have been nice if this trident was a bit more show accurate, with maybe a reddish pink tip instead of the typical gold tip. And then his torso is great too, with the blue down the center. Some pink details as you see on the sides. Prince Kalmar's minifigure overall, I have to say, is quite nice. And now we got to take a look at his brother, Prince Benthamar, who is exclusive to this set. This is a very nice minifigure. The hairpiece, this is a pretty common hairpiece, I think. This looks like the exact same hair they used for Twitchy Tim, I think. But it works here. I really like this shade of grayish blue they use for this minifigure. It doesn't just look like gray, you know? It doesn't just feel like gray in the sense that it's a shade of black, but it kind of does feel more like grayish blue. And I think that's nice. I think that definitely follows up nicely on the seed theme. Benthamar's weapon is great too. Pretty show accurate in terms of the way it's shaped. But again, I think in the show, the tip was blue, so maybe that would have been nicer if they had included some sort of transparent blue tip. As for the actual minifigure, his face is great too. You've got this fierce expression with these side details too, which are nice too, and the blue eyes. If you go around to the back, he's got a dual face, more of a happy face, which is, I don't know, this happy face looks a bit, I don't know, it just feels a bit off, a bit creepy almost. I don't know if that's the right word. And he's got a place to store his weapon. And then going around to the front, let's spin his hairpiece back around. Yeah, this is nice too. A lot of really intricate printing. And the gold here as well reflects the light very nicely. Prince Benthamar, overall a great minifigure. It's really nice that they included this minifigure for the Seabound Wave. And now let's take a look at the Scuba minifigures, and we can't actually place them on this yet because these come with flippers, which I think is nice too, because of course in this season they do swim. Well, not Kai technically, because this suit, as it turns out, is entirely non-canon. This suit just doesn't exist in the show. Regarding the scuba mask, this is my first time kind of, I guess, responding or reacting to the way this mask looks. It looks nice, but there's a big problem. I mean, you know, let's start with the pros first. I think this is a great fusion between kind of like a scuba mask and a ninja mask. It's good. And I think it's really what they've been doing in past years, making these ninja masks that fit very specific seasons, yet feel good and feel appropriate. I think it's really nice what they've been doing. But this mask has a very big issue, in my opinion, that just makes this minifigure look off. And it's that this head is too far up. You can kind of see his mouth here above the black part of this mask, and that is a bit strange. I think his eyes should be lower, and that's kind of a design flaw. I don't know if there was a way to fix it, but his eyes definitely should be lower. His mouth should be completely behind this breathing apparatus, and it's not, which is just kind of a bit strange. But I do like how they include this breathing apparatus to make it pretty realistic. And this piece is pretty complex. It actually goes down to the scuba tank, and it's really inventive here because this scuba tank also doubles up as a weapon holder, which is super creative. And what's more, it also serves as a utility belt. So this piece is kind of all over the place on this minifigure, down here, back here, up here, and I think that is super cool. Here's his weapon. He's got a gun. Yeah, in this season they have guns. And the sword piece that, as we pointed out, is actually the same piece on the submarine. So that is pretty cool. And now we get to take a look at the torso. I really like the scuba torsos. I think they're quite detailed. I like how they make use of stuff such as belts. And in the back, you can see a symbol as well. It's not entirely visible because other stuff is covering it up. And I like how, in a way, this symbol is really in the background. There's other stuff covering it up. It's obviously not the main focus here. And yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on here. I like whatever this is supposed to be, maybe armor or something, kind of like grayish. And the leg printing is cool too. I'm sure there's back printing as well, but we can't really see it for obvious reasons. But yeah, Scuba Kai is cool. I guess my only biggest issue with these minifigures is the mouth is not behind the breathing mask, and that is just a bit strange. And next up we have, I don't know, we don't even need this, but we have Glutinous. This is your typical Walker minifigure of the wave, and it's pretty cool how they do this minifigure. He has 6 of these legs, and they're made of these, I guess, fang pieces, which I think is nice. This minifigure is pretty sturdy if you were to prop it on the floor or on the table, rather. It does stand up nicely. Obviously, it's not really quite level here. But yeah, this is cool. One thing I didn't notice until very recently is that Glutinous's torso is different from the torsos of the other Merlopians, and I'm really glad they did that because I think this minifigure would be worse if it was just the same torso. I think it's kind of weird how you can see this red piece. Obviously, the main colors here, you got black, blue, gold, and then there's this red piece. Although it is covered up by this clear dome, you could definitely tell that it's red, and that is a bit strange. But yeah, I really like the torso, how this is kind of like a robotic part to this minifigure, which would make sense because for some reason this guy doesn't have legs, so maybe he has robotic parts to help sustain him. His left arm is entirely gold, which is cool too. And he's got a magnifying glass, kind of sciencey. In the back, I'm not really quite sure what this is supposed to be, but it's in the show too. Maybe some sort of power core. I don't like this. I don't like how there's just this hole going through him. The torso's at the front, and then whatever this is at the back. You've got these 2 separate parts at the front, the actual Glutinous at the back, whatever this is supposed to be. That's a bit strange, but I think this minifigure is good. There is some stuff that could definitely be better about it. And then last but not least, we have the Merlopians. There's 2 Merlopians, I think, in this set, and as far as I can tell, they are pretty much the same, so no need to really look at both of them. Again, they've got these flipper pieces, this time in blue, and let's get them out of the way and put them back on the stand. Merlopians are quite cool as they are called Hydro Whippers by a lot of the community. They got some criticism for reusing this Pyro Viper piece, or Pyro Whipper piece again, but I think it works here. It doesn't quite feel as elemental as the Pyro Vipers, and not that it should either, because the Merlopians are not really commanders of the water element. They just live in the water. In the Pyro Whippers, this part here, these highlights are transparent, I believe. Here they're not, and I think that totally makes sense. This weapon is cool too. Here's the Merlopian sword that we pointed out on the temple, although in gold. And the Dragon Bone Blade hilt still being used in Ninjago waves. This piece really has gotten, they've made great use of it. Here it's in black, which is cool too. If you look at this, I really like this armor piece. I believe this is the armor piece of Mr. E, I think, or the Sons of Garmadon. And the torso is nice too. This is a very black minifigure, but you've got some gold pieces, gold elements rather, down the center, kind of like scales or his belly, and these tiny blue details to either side. It is very reminiscent of Prince Kalmar's minifigure too. Just the overall structure of the way the torso looks like. It's very similar, and the Merlopians are good minifigures, the My Regards as they're actually called in the sets. So yeah, I think this is definitely a nice villain faction for this wave. I'm going to give this set a final rating of 9 out of 10. I really like it. I think this set reminds me a lot of the Ice Castle from Season 11, but honestly just a lot better. That set is called an Ice Castle, yet it doesn't really feel like a castle, whereas this set is a temple, and it definitely does feel like a temple. The similarities, I feel, is that both are definitely very open sets. You know, they don't really feel closed off, yet I feel this temple is definitely a lot more successful than the castle. And yeah, I really enjoy this set. Thank you for watching, guys. If you enjoyed, please leave a like, subscribe, share with anyone and everyone you know. And share your thoughts. What do you guys think of the Temple of the Endless Sea? Did you guys enjoy this set and its minifigures? Share your thoughts down below, and I will see you guys next time.